juicy conversation today.
Yeah. I am excited because I already saw some people's reviews and
I
things.
haven't looked. I haven't looked at anything, so I don't know what anybody thinks. I finished this like an hour ago, so I have a lot of thoughts.
Okay. I finished it just recently too. Let me make sure we're live.
I just got the
we
notification you were live.
Okay, yeah. Same. Okay, cool.
Oh, let me actually, I was so busy reading this, I didn't share our thing to my Instagram.
Oh. I was like, share what? Okay, well, okay, good. Hi, everybody. So we're here today to talk about our June historical Hellions pick. And Samantha had some things come up, so she wasn't able to make it, sadly. But yeah, we're here to chat about Whitney, My Love by Judith McNaught.
That I physically read. I don't know the last time I read a physical book, so.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Lexi. Okay, yeah, I saw Lexi and Cheryl's thoughts on Goodreads earlier.
And I haven't looked at anybody's thoughts, so I'm going in blind.
Yeah, I'm
usually
very
do,
excited. Yeah.
I
Okay,
like
well, I guess we can say what people thought of the book. We could just jump into it.
Do we want to start off and say who read which version?
Yes.
So, like old school or new? Because I definitely need people to tell me what the edited version is, because I don't know how the plot would work.
I did both.
Oh, you read both of them?
Yeah. Like,
or just
I didn't. Yeah, just the changes as far as I know. So,
how did you know what changed?
So I looked it up online and I read the ebook version first, so the newer version that's edited, and then finished that. And then I went back and read, because there's 2 chapters in here that have some changes, as well as the new version has like a whole extended like rest of the book that was so good. But we'll get to that.
Because Lexi was like, my copy is like 700 pages during sprints yesterday, and I was like, mine's 540. What do you mean it's 700 pages?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would like that though, because I had like 50 pages left and I almost stopped reading because I was like, the book's over. What's gonna happen next? So
no, I cried at the end.
What?
Yeah.
Do I need to go and read this ending? What?
Maybe. We'll talk about it. Okay, so yeah, let us know in the comments if you read the edited version or the old like original paperback, and then your ratings. And Jess, what did you give it?
I haven't rated it yet because I don't know what to think, because I wish you read this first and then the edited version. So I feel like whichever you read skews your thoughts, because he was like, he had issues. Like, he had serious issues in here from what the problematic chapter and then what happened like 40 pages to the end. I was like, sir, you need to go see a therapist. Like, you have serious issues that like
I was gonna say, I feel like, I don't know, we'll talk about it, but I feel like the edits are not super drastic. So
really?
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Other people, Monica read the old school one. Oh yeah, continue on. But what are your like thoughts or rating?
It was like super entertaining because I was like, you guys are so toxic, and like this is not a good romance, but like I'm so entertained, and like I know I like, how do I bring this up? Like, it reminds me of the toxicity of Magnolia Parks. Jessa Hastings
aside, yeah.
That stuff's happening. But I read Magnolia Parks a while ago, and like comparing it to like, they're so toxic, but like you can't stop watching because you're just like,
right.
What are you doing? But and they had a very like you could feel their emotions and like a super vivid kind of like sweeping romance, even though he was him.
Yeah. Okay. So Lexi read the new version and gave it 1 star. Cheryl also did the new version. Yeah, because it was longer, and she gave it 2 stars. Monica read the old version and gave it 4.5 stars, but it was a little long, and she was entertained. Okay. I read the edited version first, the newer version first, and then went back and read the other chapters. I don't know what this says about me, but I'm giving it 5 stars. I loved this book. Like, it's literally one of my new favorite historical romances ever. Like, I'm so obsessed. Yeah, I don't know.
Literally, this man needs to learn how to communicate. Like more than half the conflict was him jumping to conclusions and then just like not talking to her. And I'm like, sir,
yeah,
just talk to her, and she will explain, and then you'll all be happy.
yeah.
Oh my God, Cheryl, that would have been an iconic ending. Iconic. I wish.
That's hilarious. But I feel like they both had issues, and like, I don't know, I didn't have too many issues with them. Like, they were both messy, and I feel like they pushed each other. Like, she slapped him a couple times and would like get mad at him, and of course he would assume the worst, like, and kind of go off a deep end there. But I feel like they then resolve it. I don't know.
Do they though?
I felt like they did.
This is just gonna continue. I see this happening over and over and over again with them. Like,
Yeah.
they did. Like, she enjoyed pushing his buttons though. So like she orchestrated the monster that he became.
Yeah. Well, I feel like they liked it about each other. Yeah, Lacey, this is what she said is one of her favorites. She gave it 5 stars.
Really? Well, so like, I mean, like, I was thoroughly entertained. I was like, these people, like, the second he found that letter, had a visceral reaction, which like shows you that it's a good book, but like as a romance. I mean, okay, so my question is, like, chapter 24, which I knew was the problematic chapter. What did they change about it? I'd be curious.
I'm like wondering too, because like in mine, the edited version I have, it's chapter 12 that's more changed with the writing crop situation. Like chapter 24 reads the same to me. Maybe like a little bit of the words are different, but he still gets in there and like pulls out when he automatically like realizes
she's the virgin.
Yeah, and that whole thing played out the same.
You can't take that out because that moment affects the entire next 200 pages. Right. So like there's no way to take that out. So I was curious how they would do that. So they didn't take that out. That's the scene.
No, and and there's only like maybe some of the wording and like the verbiage that they used between each other that maybe like she's not apologizing or saying like I'm sorry like as much, but otherwise it reads the same. It was the writing crop scene where in the edited version he goes to raise it and then pulls back and stops, throws it aside, and then has the talk with her, where in the old version, like, I mean, it's like a 50 Shades situation. No, like, get on my...
exactly what I thought. I was like, ooh. But then, like, she didn't enjoy it. Like, normally that scene turns into, like, oh, it's, like, part of, like, their, sexy times. But, like, it wasn't. But it felt... I was like, oh, this feels like BDSM. Like, this feels like a current day book that I read, and I was very thrown off of how modern that scene felt. So I'm surprised that's the scene that got taken out, because that's more common in books now than the other scene.
Exactly. So. Yeah. And there's like some parts where I think it's his brother or something, like after the chapter 24 scene, like there's some parts with his brother where he's like, I can't believe he would have done that to her or like hurt her or something like that. Like he's thinking of how Clayton treated Whitney, and he's like, I can't believe he would have hurt her. And so that's the word he uses in the edited version. But in the old version, he's like, I can't believe he would have like raped her. Like he says that or thinks that about his brother. So that wording changed.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because I saw I also looked up an interview with Judith McNaught where when she did the edited version in 1999, she was saying that she originally, like, the scene was worse, like, to begin with, before she even got the book published. And she herself went back and changed it. And she said, I changed it, thought it was, like, glossed over well, but I forgot to change the part that the brother and other people think back of it as an attack scene. And she's like, then that, like, got all the hate. So, like, that was interesting to hear her thoughts on it.
Did this actually get a lot of hate when it was published?
No.
Okay. It was after.
It was closer to when it was re-edited. Yeah. So I don't know. And then this one just like abruptly ends when they're talking about that, like his previous mistress situation, right?
They're so messy. Like, she comes in when they're fighting, and so then she's like, "You're just gonna go back to her." Like, come on.
Yeah, but then the new version, it has like multiple chapters after that. Like I thought it was just gonna be like an extended epilogue, but it's not. It's like chapters with his brother and his brother's relationship, which I don't know if they even have that in here, like him getting an inheritance from an uncle and his relationship with somebody, and she's also like betrothed to somebody else, and he's gonna like abduct her before she gets married, and like all this situation with their mom, and then Whitney has their baby, and then she gets all these letters and things from previous like duchesses of the family, which goes back all the way to Kingdom of Dreams. That's the
They
part where I was
mentioned
crying.
that too. They mentioned Kingdom of Dreams, the couple.
Okay.
Because do you
Were
remember?
they reading letters?
No. It was
Okay.
it was earlier on in the book when they were talking
Yes.
about like, oh, we're getting
Yeah.
married and we have to
Yeah.
do the church and then the reception.
The traditions.
Why?
Yeah.
And because the first one that got married, he went.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I know them. I know them.
Yeah. So they
so
like have an actual
so,
letter from her in the
oh my gosh, I
edited
love
version.
that.
Yeah, it was really good.
So interesting.
I was looking this up. I don't think the brother has a book.
I did like him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was funny because like she is very much like feel like she like gave main character energy because everybody was obsessed with her and everybody loved her.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of the Sky O'Malley book where it's just like everybody fell over their feet for her.
Yeah.
She was just so funny and
everybody wants to marry her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I initially, when I was starting it, I was like, who? Because I don't remember the synopsis. I was like, who is the relationship going to be? Obviously not Paul. Paul's so boring. Like, whatever. And what kind of name is Paul for a hero? Like, no offense to anybody who knows Paul's, but in a romance. And then I was like, oh, Nick, I really like him. I was like, oh, she'd be with him. And then I think Monica told me, was it Monica? That he gets the next book. Nick's book is the next book.
He has like a novella.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I wanted him to be with her because I was like, oh, I like him.
Yeah.
And Paul was annoying. Yeah. And Paul wanted her money and it was going to ruin everything.
Yeah. Which I just saw hers as like an infatuation with him when she was young because it's before she even goes to France. And Paul just wanted her for the money.
Yeah. I was really worried when it started and she was 15 and I was like, oh God, are we going to have another like 15-year-old romance? But then she aged up to like 20? 19?
Yeah, she was 20 when she came back.
She was a 34-year-old, but during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like 3.5 in the series that he has a little novella. It's like 70 or 80 pages.
He was fun. I was like, what's wrong with him? He loves you, obviously.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to marry her, though.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Even like her gross cousin who was I was like, come on, another guy, and really like
she totally put him in his place. So she's so funny. She's funny. I really liked her.
Well, I loved her. Okay, yeah, Monica just said this too. Like her aunt and uncle, I loved them with her. Like they were so sweet.
When the uncle came back and he's like, what? Everything's fine. And they're like, no, it wasn't. Now it is, but it wasn't.
I know. When he told the aunt in the beginning, and he's like, she's like a daughter that we never had. And I was like, oh, they're so sweet. Her maid was fun too.
Yeah. Okay. Like the more I talk about it, like the more you appreciate it. Like all the characters were so fun. And I don't know, it was just like easy to read. Like I feel like it went by pretty fast. So
yeah. For being so long.
Recent ones that we read where I'm like, this is like insufferable.
Yeah. So I'm curious, like people who didn't love it, because I was looking up reviews, because I feel like it's not the problematic stuff, but maybe it is. But I feel like it's maybe they just don't like her being like their stubbornness and their toxic relationship. Like, I don't know. So I'm curious why people don't like it. Yes, which she gets like she's hinted at something, right? Does she get like a romance? I think she does later. Yeah.
They're just so messy, but it's like I can't look at it as, oh, this is a super cute romance. It's like, oh my gosh,
right.
It's entertaining to watch because they're so
they're just so messy. But I feel like it's kind of realistic because like he got hurt and so he's gonna like bring somebody else around and try to like prove to himself he doesn't like her, And I just love every time when he would come into a room and same with her, like they'd realize the other one wasn't in there and they come to like talk about them and they're like, oh my God, you're in here, like shocked by it.
Oh, is there an intro to the new one?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Which, she talks about how this was her first book that she ever wrote and wanted to get it published, but it wasn't published until later because she would just rework it all the time. She'd send it into publishers and they would tell her no, because this was like the first long form Regency at the time and spicy. So before that, they were all the shorter, like those Harlequin or whatever type things. Or
So
still.
with the spice, I feel like
Mhm.
this would have changed so drastically if he wasn't the one who had raped her. Because like the scene, other wedding night, where he
Yeah.
was like, I promise you, and he was so kind and so caring, and he's like, that's not
Mhm.
how it normally is. Like, I was too rough. Like, and so like I think that would have been so much more powerful if it was like she had a different trauma and then he taught her like it doesn't have to be like that. Like that would have been like a really touching moment. But I'm like, you're the one who did that though. So like
Yeah.
that
Well, they
kind of
did have a talk like that later. Did
yeah.
they not? Okay.
But I'm saying like it as like a reader, like it
Yeah.
would have been better if like he wasn't the one to be the bad part in the first place, you know? So
Right.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Yes. But she was in love with him.
Yeah. Which this book actually reminded me, because you also read you read The Lions and Lace, right, by Megan McKinney? This book kind of reminded me of that, as far as like that Gilded Age, he's an alpha hero and he like wants
Uh-huh.
to like just kind of his inner thoughts and stuff, because it's like it's not his actions that we have to like, I mean, sort of, I guess, judge, but like a lot of his like inner talk, like the hero in this book, he would be thinking all these like sweet things about her and how much he was in
Yeah.
love with her and how sorry he was, and like, I don't know, alpha heroes work for me, I guess.
I was also thinking about like because we talk about a lot like why was this so popular when it was published and like
Yeah.
he is so obsessed with her and like so in love with her and like just having like someone be so consumed with love for you that they would do that like that's what I mean like obviously it's
Yeah.
very very toxic and like not at
Mhm.
all good but like that's what drove his actions is he was so in love with her that if he thought she betrayed him he was so distraught and like I feel
Yeah.
like it's that overwhelming passion that people are like in romance novels, especially with them being so new during
Right.
that time. They were like, oh my gosh, yes, give me like all the intense passion, even like with the negatives that it has.
Yeah. Like, I highlighted so much in this, and in my notes, I would be like, "This man is obsessed," and, like, he's so besotted, like, he's so obsessed with her.
In a toxic way, but still.
Yeah, but even some of the moments when they're, like, really sweet and, like, just
Yeah.
his mom and brother are, like, watching them out on the lawn, like, just teasing each other and, like, having, like, playful fun. I was like, "He's so obsessed," and, like, he didn't wanna marry her right away, he wanted to, like, ease
Yeah.
her into wanting him back, so I don't know.
And he'd been obsessed
Okay.
since he literally saw her. Like,
Yeah, okay, when
I've
he
lived here
remembered.
before. She's like, what? Like, yeah, I saw you.
Yeah, he was like, "You were in this hat shop trying to buy a specific hat." I was like,
Never mind, he
"Dude."
was there with a mistress, but
Yeah, I mean, that's of the time, I guess.
I know.
Oops, we did that one. Okay. Mm,
I mean,
yeah,
like, yeah, but he didn't change. Like, I think I would have believed it if the second instance didn't happen. So, like, the bad thing happened, and then they
mhm.
decided, okay, we're gonna get married. They got married, and then he found the note, and he immediately thought bad about her again.
I
And I was like, did you
know.
not learn? That's when I like had a visceral reaction. I was like, we've been through this before. Just
Yeah,
go talk to her. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I know, but I was like, "Okay, it kind of makes sense," because he already kind of, I don't think he was fully over the part before that he thought wrong of her, so he's like, "Oh, this is proving into that point again," and, like, all of his own insecurities, like, just he's not thinking straight.
I mean, to be fair, she literally was gonna run off with Paul. Like the
Yeah.
minute he left, she literally was going to leave him. So
Multiple times she had that planned, like, when she pretended to be sick and had the doctor come and, like, they're like, "That's the wrong leg, like, what are
I
you
know,
doing?" She's like, "Alright, I give up."
I know.
"Hello, welcome for the
So I mean, she was
discussion."
equally as toxic. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
and flirting with other men in front of him.
yeah. I know Samantha originally gave it 1 star, and I don't know if she finished her reread or not, so I'm not sure.
I like honestly don't know what I could rate this because it's so I feel like I couldn't give it a high rating because the romance they're so toxic, but like for entertainment
Yeah,
and like the writing was good. Like it was
mhm.
well written and well paced. Like
Yeah. Well, in the end chapters when it's with, or maybe it's before, I don't know, it's with Whitney when she, like, runs away and hides with his mom, and his mom's
that was
thinking back
so
of her
good.
own relationship, and she's thinking of how her and her husband were, like, so obsessed with each other, but kinda messy too, and, like, she ran away from him at one point, and so I feel like it's just common with this family, because obviously in like Kingdom of Dreams, going all the way back, like this family is just messy like that.
Yeah. Oh wait, so she wrote this before Kingdom of Dreams.
Yeah.
Interesting. So she probably had that like kernel of their romance then.
Right.
The dreams.
Yeah. Yeah, because she said she kept sending this one into publishers and they'd send it back and be like, it's way too long and it doesn't, like, nobody wants like a long Regency like this because it hadn't been done. And so she's like, I would take that and instead write more to the book. Like I would add more pages, which I'm like, okay, Judith.
That's so funny. I wonder, is she still alive?
I feel like she is, because I thought people said she's writing.
Oh, because she writes like suspense now, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, says she is. 81 years old.
How old was she when she was writing this then?
I don't know. This was the 80s, right? Well, when it was published, so maybe 30, 40? No, wait.
Should have been early 30s.
Yeah.
Late 20s writing if it took her a while to get published.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say I think it is kind of weird though. The only part that was like, this is kind of strange. Like in her author's note in the beginning of the edited version, she's talking about how she named the hero and the heroine after her children. So Clayton and Whitney are her son and daughter. And I was like, ma'am,
no,
let's not do that.
People can't read books with their own kids as the
exactly,
let alone both of them together.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I don't like that.
No. Hey.
Yeah, that part was super weird.
I need to see if she has like interviews. She would be so fascinating to like. But I think it's funny because I feel like it's always people who are told by publishers like no for like certain reasons, or like it's just not what's popular, are the ones that blow up. So
yeah.
Oh, there's a article that's called "The Curious Disappearance of Judith McNaught." What happened?
Oh, maybe when she switched genres.
Yeah, they were like the market became saturated. Oh, I guess she took a 12-year break of writing.
Okay.
And she said she would come out with this book and never came out with it.
Oh yeah, I was reading her author's note in the beginning, and so she said like she was a huge fan of Regency romances, and so by 1996 or 1976, sorry, she'd already read everything she could find, so she decided to write her own. So that's when she started Whitney, My Love. And then she said, of course, it went on to be like a huge bestseller and like sold so many copies. So all those other publishers who turned her down missed out.
Okay, but like the dynamic did remind me though of, I guess not the heroine, if I remember from Kathleen Woodiwiss. Because the heroes are equally as like domineering and long too. Like, why would they be okay publishing Kathleen in the 70s and not Judith?
Yeah. It's definitely dramatic, like soap operas.
Even like when they're racing their horses and like she's like, I meant to hit him and I hit the horse instead, and then it went running because it's terrified of crops. And I literally could see this though as a TV show. I was thinking as I was reading it, I was like, this has so many like episodic messy moments that I feel like this would translate to television so well. It hasn't already.
I know. I think so too.
But I could see a lot of people talking about this and be like, oh my gosh, you have to read this book I just read. Like it was so crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. Because it's so different. And it was like a class difference romance as well, with like her father being in debt and like they weren't titled or anything. And he's this like duke who's, I mean, he's practically like a billionaire like of his time because he's just thrown around money.
I don't know where I want to look this up. How much was the dollar? I guess we could do dollar in the 1820s. Because how much was £100,000 in today's money.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this says $1 is equivalent to about $27.
So it says 100,000 in 1820 is worth about 12 million pounds today. So 12 million pounds to US dollars is $14 million.
That's insane.
Yeah.
He literally
Well, he
spent
literally didn't care. He was just buying houses, fixing them up
millions
for
on that.
themselves. Yeah.
Didn't they say
On
he had
top of
like 400 horses and like was it
Yeah.
400 or 40? I feel like it was 400.
Yeah, it was 400. Because one guy's like, doesn't he own like
$12
200
million of net?
Yeah. And he owned like multiple estates. Yeah. I don't know what her father was like making terrible decisions. Yeah.
When we say this man was obsessed, he literally had seen her 3 times in his life over the course of 3 years and was like, $12 million. Give it to her.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then
and then we have Paul thinking he's gonna marry her after not being interested in her, finds out she has money, and is like, let me go spend the money and then I'll come back and maybe propose to you. Like,
but he loved her so much that he was willing to break their engagement and let her keep everything and gave her more money.
I know. Well, he was even like, that one part, he's like, I love her enough, or I'm so infatuated. I don't think he like agreed he loved her yet, but he's like, I'm so infatuated in her that I'll like let her play these games with Paul and let it see how it rides out so she can like gain back her pride to all the villagers of like running after Paul her whole life. He's like, yeah, let that happen. I'll let her have her fun. He's like, obviously they're not marrying, but like
this was like, I was so excited for this live show because I was like, there is so much to talk about with this book. And I feel like we haven't had a book like this in so long.
Yeah.
No wonder this was so because I also
didn't like her father.
Was her name Elizabeth? No. Yes?
Yes, her friend.
Yeah, where she's like, I'll step aside, you can have Paul. She's like, no. You need to stay with Paul. I want Peter. And she's like, what? And then she made the marriage happen. She's like, I got you. And she went, hey, Peter. So this happened, and he literally proposed to her that night. I was like, she is.
Yeah. Because didn't she like put her in like a new dress and she's like, let him see you in a new light. And
Yeah.
then he's like, yeah, we need to leave. I need to go get her father's permission.
Yeah. And he did.
So
She's like, listen, he's going to propose tonight. Don't worry. I got this covered.
I know. Yeah.
I was like, she is that mastermind, is toxic, but so smart. Smart. She's so funny.
Yeah. Which, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I've just read worse like heroines that she didn't bother me. Like I liked her. She was like sassy and opinionated, but
I was entertaining. Like I don't know how to rate that. Like they were so toxic, and he did gaslight her at some parts where he was like,
yeah.
And that scene was hard to read because it definitely was bad, but
right. Yeah.
And she's like, why the heck would you believe the woman who hates me that I slept with someone?
I know.
She's out to get me.
Yeah. But wasn't it something else that happened too, where it was like all these pieces kind of like fell into, like he saw her with, something happened, and then that lady said it too, and then of course he like believed it.
And she just reminds me of Sky O'Malley because she was super headstrong, and like every man she met was in love with her, and like that's exactly Whitney to a T. Like, also I think it's funny that like he's this 6'2", 6'3" ripped Duke. Like, okay, but I also feel, of course, sad. He is. So I saw this TikTok about how movie posters used to be illustrated, like hand drawn.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
I've seen that.
I don't know what's going on there. And that I was like, it's the same exact thing with book covers. I was like, these were gorgeous. Like this is hand drawn or whatever, painted. And it is like just the sweeping nature of the cover too.
Yep.
I was like, why don't we have these as well?
I know. Yep. Oh, and I loved how obsessed he was with her green eyes
Yeah.
and, like, getting the emeralds to match and just
Yeah.
yeah. But I feel like this cover is not cringy, like, I feel like it's so beautiful.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't
look
know.
at his, like, position on top of her. He's,
Yeah, I was like, his arm?
and his leg, and then, like, her legs. And
Yeah,
then the back where she's in his arms on a horse.
I know. Yeah, not the type of Duke that Whitney described. Like, yeah, in the beginning when they first or when she thinks they first meet at that ball, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a Duke," and she's like, "No, you're not. You'd have to be old and have this and that."
What happened to his dad? Do we know?
I think he's just I don't think it was ever mentioned. Like, I know his mom's a dowager, so the dad passed away, but, like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, I don't think it was ever mentioned.
We always have these, like, hot young dukes, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, I know people
Oh,
got
and
but
I thought it was interesting that because 'cause I'm always, like, curious where that whole, like, what's that saying, like, about rakes becoming the best husbands? Like, it's in this book too.
it
Because 'cause
is?
I'm always like, "Yeah,
Didn't the mom say it?
yes." And she's
Or
like, "I would know. I married one, and I have like, both of
and
my
I had
sons
2
are
of them.
rakes." Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah. And I just
Um,
liked how the mom and, his brother were just willing to, like the brother's like, "I'll go pretend I'm interested in her, like, to mess with Clayton," or, like, he's like, "Does she have a cousin or a sister? Like, I wanna marry a girl like Whitney."
what Cheryl said, Kingdom of Dreams has a gorgeous step back, but then yes, it kind of fell into the trend in the 90s of like
Yeah,
the objects, which is
I
sad.
know.
Kingdom of
Yeah.
Dreams is kind of very like similar to this, where it's very like sweeping because it's like her face and her hair, right? Like that.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah,
But yes.
I know.
But also I'm like back then they could do the foiling on the cover,
Yeah.
the illustration for this, and they sold this for $4.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
what the paperback says, $3.95. And now paperbacks are $20. I was literally at the bookstore and I was like, since when is a normal paperback 20? Remember when they used to be 16?
Wow. That's crazy, yeah.
What is this $20 paperback? I mean, to be fair, this is mass market, but still.
Yeah. Well, even mass markets before they got rid of them, I feel like they were up to, like, 12.99 or something?
And they used to be 8, like
Mhm.
7.99.
Yeah. Yep.
Books are so expensive now. So many.
I know.
But
Yep.
that's super interesting when I hear sorry, thinking back about this with the scene changes because they did that with the Rena Kent book and it's like not
Mm.
they didn't change the scene. They like altered lines
They
to
did?
change. So it's Rena Kent's the first book in her Legacy of God series because he does like force her.
Mm.
And I guess they changed lines to make it her seem like she likes it. So it's more like duck con and not non con. And
Mhm.
isn't that kind of what you said they did here? Where they just kind of like changed like the feeling of the scene, but
Yeah.
didn't actually change the scene.
That it's happening, yeah.
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 Because, but like Lisa Kleypas is just like taking whole things out and not doing that. So I think it's very
Right.
interesting when they like try to change like the feel of the scene
Yeah.
to make it less bad. So,
Yeah. For sure.
well, except for the riding crop scene, which I'm shocked. I mean, like I get it because that's like
Yeah.
physical against her, but like I also immediately was like, this feels like BDSM right now, not,
Yeah, yeah, same.
which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Mhm. Yeah, which that scene they changed more than the other one that I feel
That's
like because
so
I didn't
interesting.
know what to expect going into this one, like, I knew everybody talked about it as being problematic and having which I thought this scene was gonna be at the beginning of the book,
That's what
but
I
I guess
thought.
that's the Lisa Kleypas that Where Passions Lead, I
Yeah.
think that's in the beginning. So I was thinking it was gonna be like that, and I thought they were gonna go, like, all the way and just, like, make it a whole big, like, problematic scene, so I was shocked when he just stopped and, like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like yeah, because like, he used it as punishment and, like, us
I mean,
all, like, I know we've all read, like, dark romances of nowadays, and, like, that's common now.
yeah. I don't know, but I feel like it's more common for like indie dark romance readers.
Yeah.
But like mainstream people who would just like pick up a book, like that might be
Yeah.
shocking, you know?
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, and so that's why when I was reading it, I was like, there is no way you can take this scene out to make the rest of the book make sense because
Yeah.
so much of the last 200 pages is a result of that specific scene and him doing that. So that's why
Mhm.
I was like, how are they going to change this? So
Yeah.
interesting.
I know, that's why I had to look at mine because I was, like, doing the ebook, and I was like, "Is my ebook not edited? Because this
This
scene's
is
in there,
so
so, like,
yeah.
what changed?"
That's how I felt about the Rena Kent. I was like, he is still forcing her to do things. Like, this
Yeah.
is not changing
Yeah.
anything. They're like, oh, they just changed a few lines to make her like it more or like question her
Mm.
liking it more. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
it would have been different if she had liked it, but she didn't for that scene. So I can see why that would upset people. But again, it's common in dark romance. So I feel like this is like an
Yeah.
OG dark romance. Like,
Yeah,
it's
like, this book
shit,
walked so, like, dark romances could run.
right?
But I felt like with the crop scene, was she, like, I thought she was into it at first, and then she wasn't into it, or was it
I mean,
completely
she
she
gave
wasn't
in
into it?
very easily because he literally was like,
Yeah.
"Get on my knee," and she did. And I was like, I
Yeah.
see a lot more like resistance from her.
Right.
But
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. This was a good one for a book club read because I feel like there's so much to talk about with it, you know?
yes.
Yeah. I
So
don't know, now I wanna read more Judith McNaught and
interesting.
Old
She has that
School.
amnesia one, and I'm like,
Which amnesia one?
she has an amnesia romance.
She does?
Yeah, I don't know if it's one of her more contemporary ones.
Okay.
Let me look.
I've only read Kingdom of Dreams and this one now from her.
Girl, don't make me make a decision. I don't know. I don't know if I can rate it. Like, I don't because it's so like as I'm talking about it, I'm like, there's so much to say. I was super addicted. I was frustrated. And I'm like, this
Mhm.
man, I literally want to throw my book when he found that letter. I was like, you are stupid. Like, just talk to her. But I don't know. I don't know. I still liked it. Have you guys read other Judith books? And if you have, let us know. I'm trying to find.
Yeah.
Oh, did we read Once and Always together?
I don't think I've read that. I mean, you
I
guys might have in the
thought I
very
gave it
beginning.
2 stars. So,
You did?
yep.
Oh.
We did read it for the book club. I think a while ago.
Oh. Okay.
Dang, I was like, this man is vile.
Oh,
We
4
did
years ago, yeah.
read. Oh, wait. Knight in Shining Armor. Was that her?
No, that's Jude Devereaux,
Oh, I was
which
gonna
we
say I
did.
know
That's
who
the
that,
time
but I
travel
don't think
one.
that's
Yeah.
Judith. Okay.
That one's fun. I like that one.
Oh yeah, I gave that one 4 stars.
Yeah.
This does make me want to read more old school stuff.
Yep. Because my month of reading has not been great, but then this was, like, so good. Like, this is the only five-star book I've had this month. So I'm like, "Maybe I need to go back to old school historicals." Oh, Something Wonderful.
Oh wait, Whitney, My Love is the second book.
Yeah.
Did Kingdom of Dreams come out first?
Mhm.
But
I
she wrote
think
this first.
I think so, yeah. I think. Let me see.
Let me look.
No. Kingdom of Dreams came out
1989.
in 94, 91. No, wait, 89. And this one came out in 85, I thought.
Oh, maybe she just changed the order of it.
Yeah, probably because they're the,
For like,
original part of the family
yeah.
in the time frame. Yeah.
Oh, Until You is the next one.
Mhm. Who's that one? I don't know these people. Sheridan and Charisse? I don't think those are people we met in this book.
Oh, Sheridan's a man?
Oh,
No, Sheridan's a woman.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and this one's set in America? Interesting.
Oh, this one's the amnesia one.
Oh.
She was knocked unconscious and recovered to find herself in a handsome stranger's care, not knowing who she was.
Ooh.
Lacey gave it 4 stars. She literally said, the beginning was wild. But Sheridan and Stephen grew on me in that Judith McNaught way. And
Okay.
it's
Ooh.
well, Samantha read another Judith McNaught with us. She's not here, so she can't.
I know. She can't
What
veto
do we
it.
tell her? Guess what? We picked our next 3 books and we're reading
The
them.
next 3 are all Judith McNaught. No.
This sounds good though. Do I read this next?
Yeah, it does sound good.
Because this also has very polarizing reviews. They're like 2 stars,
Yeah.
5 stars.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. So then the novella, that's that Nikki's book, the heroine in that one is the charge of Sheridan from Until You.
Um,
So I guess their books tie into that one. Interesting. Trying to think. I think there's another one I always hear recommended from her. Let me see what it is. Is it Paradise or Almost Heaven? Are those her contemporary ones, maybe?
Corporate Raider, Matthew. Yeah, this is
What?
contemporary. It's Paradise.
Oh, yeah. Chicago, Illinois, 1989. No. Whoa. It's a lot of. Another one Lacey gave 4 stars to. Has Lacey read all of her books?
Maybe. But I'm just like, what makes these authors who are so successful just stop writing them?
I know. Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like even like nowadays, how historicals are kind of the readership isn't there as much, or they're supposedly like dying out. But I feel like that wasn't the case in the 90s. So, like, what happened?
We need people today writing things like this.
I know.
I do feel like a
Yeah.
lot of them that at least I was reading, other than like our OGs, like Lorraine Heath, like were too like cookie cutter. Like
I agree. Yeah. Which I don't know if that was the authors or their editors and the publishers, like trying to
I don't know.
appeal to more readers, you know?
Like, give me the angst and the mess, because Lorraine Heath was still writing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
No.
Does she still have new releases coming out? Historicals?
She just had one in December.
Okay.
And then she was going through cancer treatments, but she's planning to write more in that families series.
Okay.
Yeah. Cheryl said, I love that we can all have such different opinions on these books and still have great conversations about them. Totally agree. Yeah.
I mean, because I do agree with the people who hated it. I was like, this romance was
right.
Like, but still super interesting to talk about. Yeah.
It was a good one to talk about.
Is it already time to pick our next 3?
It is, but should we wait and do it the next time with Samantha or what?
We can talk about it.
Okay.
And come up with like a list to give her and see what she would want to do.
Yeah.
Because I know you asked in the story.
Yeah, I wrote down all of those.
Okay.
There was, let's see here. Well, this is now the 3rd time people have said The Last Hellion by Loretta Chase. That people really want us to read that one. That's a rake in a blue stocking. She's a journalist. And then we also had another one said Moonstruck Madness by Laurie McBain, which somebody said that last time too. And this is Scottish Highwaywoman. It's on KU and it was written in the 70s.
I'd be okay with another Loretta Chase. I do like her.
Yeah. There was also a Bed of Spices, that Barbara Samuel one that's medieval, forbidden. It's on KU and audio. Somebody recommended it in last month's live show and put it in the questionnaire thingy too.
Oh wait, didn't we read a Laurie McBain? Or no?
I don't think so.
Oh no, I think we read one with a similar cover.
Yeah, she has really pretty covers.
Does the Loretta Chase have audio?
It does, yes. There's also Teresa Medeiros, Breath of Magic, which is time travel and witches. And that
I love Teresa Medeiros, so.
Me too. Somebody said Prisoner of My Desire by Joanna Lindsay. That's the one I think where she kidnaps the hero to get an heir.
I really want to read. I haven't gotten around to it yet. I feel like that would be so good.
I think it would be good too. That one I doubt it has an audio. I don't, well,
Breath of Magic would be fun to read in October.
Yeah. And then somebody said Beverly Jenkins, the Levesque series. They said Winds of the Storm, but that one was published in 2006. But the first one, Through the Storm, was in 98. But I think you and I have both read that one, right?
I've read a lot of her backlist.
Yeah. So. Yeah. There is Christina Dodd, which I don't think we've read her for anything. Velvet Angel by Jude Devereaux. That's rival, feuding families, an abduction trope. Interesting. And a Western one, somebody said Outlaw Hearts by Roseanne Bittner. He's an outlaw and she's a widow. And Western, yeah, Western American historical.
The character's name is Judith in this Jude Devereaux book.
Oh, and Velvet Angel?
Yeah.
Definitely let us know in the comments too if you have any recommendations, because we can write them down. Oh, and then somebody said that they've been gatekeeping this book and author, but it's Seduced by Carla Simpson, which is a 1870s. The heroine goes to San Francisco to find out about her father who got murdered and gets pulled into a mystery. And I think it was also redone, so it has an ebook with it as well. Monica said that Jude Devereaux is on audio as well. I will write that down.
Oh my gosh.
The mustache.
That's
of course he does.
I think I actually have some by this author.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let me look.
I don't know if I've heard of this author.
Oh my god, I own this one.
Ooh, it sounds actually really good. And it has really good reviews.
Okay, so I don't know, because on Goodreads, there's only 66 reviews.
Oh, but they're all really high.
This says that it's billed as a romance, but it's definitely much more mystery too.
Interesting.
That would be fun. You said it's on KU?
Let me look. It might just have an ebook. I don't know if it's on. Let me look.
The original cover is something. Not the original cover, the new cover is
the new one, yeah. No, it's not on KU, but it has an ebook that was published in 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me look and see if like the libraries have it. No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. No.
Your library has it?
No, it shows it, but none of the libraries have it.
Oh, it's on Hoopla.
Oh.
The audio, or not the audio, the ebook.
That would be fun. Let's definitely keep that as a contender.
Okay.
I would say I'm most interested in Teresa Medeiros.
The Those would be good, like, fall ones, too, because that's what we're looking for.
This one, the Carla Simpson, and then the Loretta Chase, I think would be fun.
Okay.
Or Judith Everell, because I do think her books.
Yeah.
So maybe ask Samantha about those 4. I don't know what she's read.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. The Teresa Maduro sounds good, and I love her books.
So good.
Yeah.
So.
Penelope Williamson as well. Oh, true. One of these is going to be for December. Have we read Joe Beverly? This is not showing up for me. Oh, I spelled her last name wrong. Another heroine named Judith.
Stop it. A popular name then.
Yeah.
Oh, it was originally 1992 under those like Harlequin-y.
Oh, okay.
Ones.
Yeah.
Zebra Holiday Regency Romance.
Or we just don't do it winter or Christmas theme, because I feel like those haven't gone so well.
Yeah. I would say those 4 then are okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we will figure all those out behind the scenes and post those soon, but these aren't going to be until the October, November, December picks, so quite a ways off.
Yeah, I'm very excited for next
Gaffney. Yes. Did you read Patricia Gaffney? Isn't she the one with that other kind of like darker one?
Having to hold. This definitely reminded me of that and my feelings, because I was like, it's very dark, but like it's so interesting of a story that like you're not rating it for the romance, you're rating it overall as a book.
Yeah.
So and that's where it's hard to rate, because you're like, obviously I'm not like rooting for these characters, but like I can't look away.
Yeah.
Next month is Falcon on the Wind by Shelley Thacker. And I love Shelley Thacker.
This one. Whoop.
Ooh, and then Connie is next, and then Julie Garwood is next.
Yeah. This one, the hero kidnaps the heroine on her wedding day on the steps of Notre Dame. Which this one also is on KU with a new title. So it's also called His Stolen Bride. Which I will put on the graphic thingy so people know. Yeah. Yep. Also called His Stolen Bride. Oh, I love when books have like people's names in them and stuff. This one was owned by Joan. Like has her little name up here. It's so cute.
Oh, you're gonna need my rating for our graphic.
I know.
I don't know. No, can I give you 2 ratings? The romance.
What would it be?
The romance was like a 2 because they were so bad for each other. But I don't know, maybe like a 4 overall.
You could put both of them on there. I feel like
you couldn't give us a 5 because that's why I think I was thinking of next book, because I was like, oh, this one's not like too bad. Like I'll be fine starting on Friday, and I think it's just 440 pages. And it was next month's that's shorter. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This Whitney, My Love, I started it like I think beginning of the week because I knew it would take me a while to get to it.
I started on Friday.
Oh, the next one's shorter, yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining us. This was super fun, and we'll have all of our next end of the year picks and the July live show and all that stuff posted at some point on our Instagram. So yeah, thanks for joining us for Whitney, my love. This was a fun chat, even though we were all like, everybody's ratings were all over the place, but I felt like it made for a good chat.
Yeah, definitely.
So thanks for joining us. Yay, yes. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.